that is my big question. It's just like, how does this outfield shake out, right? Or beyond Tatis. And honestly, it's just like beyond that top five of the lineup, Bogarts, Tatis, Cronenworth, Machado, Kim, like those are the locks of just like what we know are going to be part of this team because they're all making a lot of money. I know Kim's entering his last year. How does that offense shake out? And how does that defense shake out for that matter?
And for that reason, I'm actually going to pick Jackson Merrill as my key player. Like, you're throwing a 20-year-old kid who's never appeared in the big leagues and has never played center field as the everyday center fielder, opening day center fielder for a team that's going to try and win a wild card spot, right? Compete for a division. That's nuts. It's a lot of pressure. The sense I get from Merrill, like watching interviews that he's done, he's not going to be particularly fazed by this. He is a mature beyond his years type guy. The pride of Severna Park, Maryland. So he's my key player for the Padres. Who do you have, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we're going to shout at you, Darvish. Like, I mean, this is another massive storyline. This team replacing so many innings from last year and getting really creative doing it when you look at kind of the guys they brought in, Darvish and Musgrove at the top. But King, Brito, we have the knuckleballer Matt Waldron. How much are we going to see of him? I think I'm going to go with Michael King because for him to be, the centerpiece of that deal from a pitching talent standpoint, I know the depth guys, I like Vasquez, I like Brito, Thorpe maybe down the line, but this year, like, this is a bet that what Michael King showed in the second half is for real. And I don't doubt the talent. I'm a little bit worried about the bulk and expecting Michael King to give them even 150 innings, let alone more than that. But I think what he looked like as a starter was pretty compelling. But it's just going to make such a big difference because beyond them, it's as far as proven major league success with Brito, with Waldron and Vasquez and Thorpe, like you just don't really have that. So this pitching staff just looks so dramatically different. And I think that is, of course, going to be another massively important part of the season. But this team is fascinating. I mean, we're barely even touching on the Bogart situation or the Kim situation or Tatis. How good is he really offensively? How good Machado? Like, there's so many things with this team that we could get into. We're gonna temper it. I have a feeling we'll be talking about them playing during the season.
Something that makes me laugh, or at least makes me curious. This was a vibe murder last year. This was just an energy vampire situation. And their plan to reshuffle the energy is to bring in Mike Shildt, as their coach, as their manager, as their skipper. And I like Mike Shildt. I'm high on Mike Shildt. They really like Mike Shildt. But he does not really come across as the type of dude who's like, woohoo, now we're bopping. Again, it's a fascinating choice. And I think there's a lot of responsibility on Shilt's shoulders to shift the energy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I will say, though, seeing his kind of personality shine a little bit more in a way that I feel like he probably didn't think he could ever do in St. Louis.
Yes, great point.
Is I agree. I think that him as a manager and what he cares about is probably going to be pretty, uptight and not necessarily in a bad way. But he's telling some goofy jokes in a way that, again, is and has this really awkward and kind of unintentionally hilarious laugh. I just would encourage people to just check out some of the Mike Shildt, interviews during spring training because he's showed a little bit more personality.
I'm buying Mike Shildt this year. I think that the Cardinal way smothered him a little bit, and the
he was born in it. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He was molded by it. Yeah. Molded by the Cardinals way. I think that now that he's out from that environment, I think he's going to let his freak flag fly a little bit more.
I hope so, man.
We'll see a different Mike